Episode 8 opens on March 16, 2026, at Waltham District Court, where the paperwork didn't just fail to align, it collapsed under the weight of its own contradictions. The criminal's summons arrived demanding an appearance for a single, alleged criminal violation of the restraining order occurring on March 1, 2026. Yet, when the 6-page packet of charging documents was finally handed over, it offered zero clear explanation or factual basis for what that concrete violation actually was. Let's look back at the sheer audacity of Captain Daniel Unsworth during the March 13 two-party hearing, when attorney Tim Brattle pressed him on who authored and advanced these charges. Unsworth tried to duck accountability, telling the court he didn't sign the charging documents and suggesting a sergeant handled it. But when the actual 6-page packet was unsealed, whose signature sat front and center at the very bottom, none other than Captain Daniel S. Unsworth himself. Why would a high-ranking captain try to lie under oath and pretend he didn't sign a police report? Because when you manufacture a criminal charge out of thin air to bail out a disgraced officer, you want plausible deniability until the trap is safely sprung. Why did Unsworth and the department bypass the standard clerk-magistrate hearing? In Massachusetts, a standard criminal complaint usually goes through a clerk-magistrate show cause hearing first, an independent screening process where both sides can present evidence before a criminal charge is ever officially issued. But when your evidence consists of a citizen legally petitioning elected government officials about police perjury and residency fraud, it wouldn't survive a neutral magistrate's review for 5 minutes. So they worked the system, leaned on friendly prosecutor channels, and rushed straight to a criminal complaint to maintain maximum intimidation. That shortcut completely imploded on March 13 when attorney Tim Brattle put Unsworth on the stand. Brattle demanded to know what specific act constituted a crime under the restraining order. Unsworth squirmed, sweat, and offered up the ultimate cop-out. Look, any one of us would feel harassed. Brattle didn't let him off the hook. What's the act that is a violation of the order? Unsworth had nothing. He couldn't name a single illegal act because emailing city councilors and the town manager about a cop's multi-state residency fraud is 100% protected First Amendment petitioning. Mafum has a long-established history of residency in Manchester, New Hampshire, heavily documented by residency affidavits and court dockets. In 2021, after remortgaging his Brockton, Massachusetts home multiple times, he sold the property and purchased his Manchester residence. That pattern of official declarations is extensive. 2022. Mafum listed his Manchester address in a failed attempt to secure a restraining order against the whistleblower in Manchester Superior Court, testifying that he feared the whistleblower would burn down his home and that he could not afford to lose it. 2023. He remortgaged his Manchester residence, marking at least his second major remortgage on the property, and signed yet another residency affidavit. 2024. In a failed lawsuit against the Massachusetts State Police, he again formally listed his primary residence as Manchester, New Hampshire. February 17, 2026. Mafum signed another formal residency affidavit reaffirming his home in Manchester, New Hampshire. As someone well-versed in mortgages, remortgages, and the legal weight of residency affidavits, Mafum knows exactly what he is doing. Yet just 9 days later, on February 26, with Captain Dan Unsworth by his side, on the clock and in uniform, Mafum swore under oath in a Massachusetts court that he lived on Manchester Street in West Roxbury, Massachusetts, a non-existent location. During these proceedings, He recycled his dramatic narrative about the whistleblower burning down his house. Yet by the March 13 two-party hearing, his story unraveled entirely. He dismissed the exact same house as a shackled weight. He wanted to be rid of the Manchester, New Hampshire residents due to a broken furnace and rodent infestations, while bizarrely claiming he still wanted a relative to live in it. When pressed on these glaring discrepancies, Mafhum retreated into an absurd web of conflicting excuses. He claimed he lacked legal representation and that his paperwork was entirely electronic, only to pivot seconds later to describe a massive physical pile of documents and a pallet of paperwork, stressing his lack of a real estate attorney. Pleading feigned confusion and efficiency is Mafhum's go-to playbook when cornered. It is the exact defense he deployed when the Massachusetts State Police caught him concealing a cruise ship crash. While he routinely accuses the whistleblower of stalking, his own actions reveal a deliberate, obsessive pattern. He dragged his residents into the whistleblower's business, specifically to commit fraud on the court and judge shop, attempting to re-adjudicate a case already dismissed by Judge Previtt in Manchester Superior Court back in 2022. His panic is transparent. Why else would he fear the whistleblower contacting government oversight regarding his public record, which features an MSP firing for civil rights violations and a lack of candor, alongside 4 green card marriages in 11 years? Rather than shifting blame, he should reckon with the reality that his own misconduct generated the public record, destroying his fitness to serve as a law enforcement officer. Unsworth and Mafhum were visibly sweating during that March 13 hearing, because they knew the ticking clock on their fraud was running out. Caught squarely between the horns of a dilemma, Mafhum is completely trapped. Either he faces federal mortgage fraud for falsifying his out-of-state residency to lenders, or he faces state perjury charges and termination for lying to a Massachusetts judge to bypass the 15-mile residency rule, concealing the fact that he lives 58 miles away in New Hampshire. Let's look past the foot soldiers of this administrative farce and examine the man at the very top, Chief Justin Hanrahan. Hanrahan is a trained attorney, which makes his absolute failure to supervise not just negligent, but entirely inexcusable. He didn't merely oversee this institutional failure. He actively allowed and enabled a culture of residency fraud and court shopping right under his nose. Let's shatter the myth of a botched background check right here. Chief Hanrahan and Captain Unsworth didn't fail to vet Khalil Mafhum. They knew everything. They knew Mafhum had accumulated 4 green card marriages in 11 years. They knew he was living 58 miles away, out of state in New Hampshire. They knew he had been fired from the Massachusetts State Police for a flagrant lack of candor and severe civil rights violations. They knew all of it, and they hired him anyway. They even appointed him as an internal health and wellness trainer, while simultaneously knowing he was suing the state police for giving him debilitating PTSD. Hanrahan and Unsworth are deeply, personally invested in covering up for Mafhum because their own professional brands are tied to the lie. How is Chief Hanrahan supposed to sell his online courses and market his promotion mill consulting side hustle if the public finds out he's running a department of frauds? And look at Captain Unsworth. At the exact moment the whistleblower was petitioning city councilors and state officials to ask why Watertown hired an out-of-state, fired trooper, Unsworth was actively campaigning to become the chief of police in neighboring Belmont. How on earth is a man ever supposed to get hired as a police chief anywhere when people realize that, as head of administrative services, he deliberately looked the other way at residency fraud, federal mortgage discrepancies, and a state police termination for lack of candor, when high-ranking command staff are busy fumbling a citizen's birthday on official court paperwork, lying about their own signatures on criminal charges, and sweating through courtroom cross-examinations, you aren't watching a genuine police investigation into an officer facing imminent physical danger. You are watching a desperate, flailing cover-up designed to protect a corrupt side hustle. By March 18, 2026, reality finally caught up with the courtroom. Judge John Garner laid down the law, explaining to the officers in terms so basic it felt like a preschool tutorial. Under Chapter 258E and established case law, true threats and fighting words are the only things excluded from constitutionally protected speech. A citizen contacting government officials to report that a Watertown cop was fired from the state police for lack of candor and civil rights violations, living 58 miles out of state, and violating municipal residency rules. None of that is direct contact. None of that is indirect contact. All of it is 100% protected First Amendment petitioning. The judge patiently reiterated what attorney Tim Brattle had argued back on March 13. To qualify for a restraining order, the fear has to be a reasonable, credible fear of physical harm or property damage, not just a wild figment of a guilty imagination. That explains why Mafhum previously wept about the whistleblower allegedly burning down his house in 2022 and early 2026. But as Brattle famously roasted them during the hearing, you can imagine she's going to drive a Sherman tank straight through your living room all day long. But unless you have actual evidence, an active, paranoid imagination doesn't give you the right to strip away someone else's civil liberties. Judge Garner spelled out what Judge Previtt had already told Mafhum in Manchester Superior Court all the way back in 2022. Fear of economic loss, job embarrassment, or losing a paycheck does not equal harassment. It is genuinely hilarious that Mafhum and Unsworth genuinely believed they could weaponize a court because a citizen dared to complain that Watertown hired a disgraced, out-of-state ex-trooper. Let's be honest. To wear a badge, you need to be ethical, smart, tough, and thick-skinned. Khalil Mafhum is none of those things. These two thin-skinned, hypocritical invertebrates melted down over how many government officials were emailed over how many months, as if civil rights came on a punch card. Oh, you've complained to too many public agencies, madam. Your First Amendment punch card is full. No more civil rights for you. By their logic, calling corporate because the McDonald's ice cream machine is broken is a felony. Watertown, you get what you get and you don't get upset. Don't you dare complain that Chief Justin Hanrahan hired a former trooper fired for dishonesty and civil rights violations. Let's talk about Chief Hanrahan for a second. The man actually holds a law degree, which leaves us with two hilarious hypotheses. Either he got his Juris Doctor out of a Cracker Jack box, or he fully understood the law and decided that he, Unsworth, and a hand-picked out-of-district judge could just skirt the Constitution to silence a whistleblower. It's a binary choice between staggering incompetence and deliberate criminal conspiracy. In the ultimate twist of poetic justice, March 18, 2026, the exact day Judge Garner vacated the fraudulent restraining order, was also the day Aframan won his famous legal victory against police overreach.
What they did, searching your house, gave you the right to do everything you
Under the circumstance that I got freedom of speech, after they run around my house with guns and kick down my door, I got the right to kick a can in my backyard, use my freedom of speech, turn my bad times into a good time. Yes, I do. And I think I'm a sport for doing so, because I don't go to their house, kick down their doors, flip them off on their surveillance cameras, then try to play the victim and sue them.
You were at Lisa Phillips's deposition, correct?
Yes, sir.
In your lawyer's office?
Yes, sir.
Same office where you filmed part of that video last Friday?
Yes, sir.
And you saw how upset she was when she was answering your lawyer's questions about how this had affected her, right?
Yes, yes,
And you saw your attorney say, do we need to take a break?
yes,
And you saw her say, no, let's go on and get this over with.
yes, sir.
You saw all that.
Yes.
You knew she was upset.
Just like she knew I was upset when she was standing in front of my kids with an AR-15 with her hand around the trigger ready to shoot me. Just like she knew I was upset when she cut my cameras. But I'm not a person, she is. So I'm sorry for being a victim. Let's talk about the predators.
Okay. So you saw all that. You saw how upset she was. You heard the testimony about her children. You heard the testimony at the depositions about Randy Newland's daughter who came home upset. You heard all that. But you're still posting stuff about
Yeah,
it.
because I understand it was Randy's fault and all of their fault for coming in my house in the first place. So if they hadn't came to my house, their children wouldn't be saying nothing. None of this would be going home if they did their research and did things right. So all of this is their fault. And now they want to sue me for their mistake.
Is there anything that could change your mind about what you're doing to these deputies?
Is there anything that can change my mind about the fact that they shouldn't have been at my house in the first place? Is there anything that can change my mind about how my money shouldn't have been touched in the first place? No.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
For the uninitiated, Aframan's saga became a masterclass in turning police intimidation back onto the authorities.
America! Yeah! We did it! Freedom of speech! Right on! Right on! Yeah! God bless America! Yeah! Power to the people! Yeah! 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 We did it, America!
When local law enforcement raided his home, searched his property, and manhandled his belongings under the guise of an investigation, they expected him to stay quiet, absorb the intimidation, and fold. Instead, Aframan did what any modern icon of accountability would do.
Mine eyes seen the corruption of the Adam County cops, stealing money, stealing cake. When they make they traffic stops, first they screw you, then they sue you, play games and dismiss your claims. The proof's on the internet.
He took the home surveillance footage of the raid, turned it into music videos, printed merchandise, and broadcasted the officers' bungled, heavy-handed tactics to millions of people worldwide. He didn't let corrupt cops intimidate him. He monetized their incompetence, mocked their abuse of power, and forced them to face public humiliation on a global stage. Ultimately, his relentless pushback resulted in a major legal victory, proving that when institutions try to bully citizens into silence, public exposure is the ultimate equalizer. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode. We still have to unravel the bogus criminal charge Desperate. Danny skipped a magistrate hearing to file the charge he threatened to arrest the teacher at school, for which resulted in Danny Unsworth causing a 90-minute hold-in-place at a middle school 40 miles away. Watertown Captain Danny Unsworth causing a 90-minute hold in place at her middle school wasn't cool. Aframan inspired the whistleblower to write a song about it.
Why can't anyone go in the halls? I heard some psycho cop 40 miles away wants to arrest our teacher for petitioning the government about police corruption. What's petitioning the government? Yo, this is why I never talk to cops. Who's the cop? I heard it's someone named Captain Danny. Will he be called Captain Lockdown now? No cap, that's mad sus. Badge belongs to the public, my friend. She taught us how to say it loud. Power of the truth, power of words, and we're not backing down. Thanks a lot, Danny. Now my class can't go to the bathroom for 90 minutes. Thanks a lot, Danny. I'm thirsty and have to wait 90 minutes for water. Thanks a lot, Danny. I needed to heat my laptop from my locker. Now I have to wait 90 minutes. Yeah, thanks a lot, Danny. Captain Lockdown. not it, bro. She's our English teacher, yeah, we ride for her. She taught us words can hit like thunder. She taught us truth can break the chain. Now Danny's acting like he owns the hallway. Bruh, that's cringe, that's villain behavior. Bullying melts truth like a try-hard hater. We're locked out, but we still remember. Her class made all of us way smarter. Badge belongs to the public, my friend. Corruption's got a very predictable end. Too bad everybody's finally taking a look, and Danny's face is cooked. Thanks a lot, Danny. My class can't go to the bathroom for 90 minutes. Thanks a lot, Danny. I'm thirsty and have to wait 90 minutes for water. Thanks a lot, Danny. I needed to heat my laptop from my locker. Now I have to wait 90 minutes. Thanks a lot, Danny. Captain Lockdown, that's not it, bro. We love our teacher, we got her back. She speaks the truth, and that's a fact. Danny, relax, you're doing the most. You can't bully words and still play boss. Thanks a lot, Danny. Now my class can't go to the bathroom for 90 minutes. Thanks a lot, Danny. I'm thirsty and have to wait 90 minutes for water. Thanks a lot, Danny. I needed to heat my laptop from my locker. 90 minutes. Thanks a lot, Danny. Captain Lockdown, that's not it, bro.
And we are letting Afroman close out this episode with his ultimate whistleblower anthem. Because when crooked cops try to hide their corruption behind retaliatory paperwork and taxpayer-funded tantrums, the only fitting response is to tell them to stop. See you in the next episode.
All you crooked cops in the world that's doing wrong, you better stop, you crooked cop, before I put you in a song. Make your family and your friends laugh out loud and sing along. My proof's on the internet. Afroman will bring it to ya. Afroman is gonna do ya. Afroman is gonna screw ya. The proof's on the